Okay, I'm gonna start this up. Okay. That's right. I'm using a controller cam. Ugh, it's gonna be rough. No. Okay. Yeah. I plan on putting this on YouTube, so I'm gonna talk a little bit different for a little bit of it, because I'm gonna like explain what I'm doing and stuff. And since this is a tutorial, I don't know. It's not crotch cam. It's close, but unfortunately it is not crotch cam. I hope my fingernails aren't super duper long. People will probably judge me. Hey, no fight. Okay. But, yeah. So I don't know when I'm gonna start acting like this is a tutorial and stop acting like this is a stream. It's really weird. Like, I'm not good at this kind of stuff. Let's see, let's think about what I should say. No, I'm just gonna go. Okay. Hi, I'm gonna do a Banjo-Kazooie 100% tutorial. This isn't gonna be the best tutorial ever, and if there is a better tutorial for 100% out there, I will post it in the description. As of right now, there isn't a single video of just 100% tutorial, although there's some small videos that Smasher made that focus on movement and some tricks, but there isn't just like a video for the whole game, because usually what people just do is they just watch Stivity Bobo's World Record. So I'll have a link to Stivity Bobo's World Record, and you can check that in the description. You can also check Smasher's videos in the description, and if when Smasher does make his 100% tutorial, I will have that somewhere on the screen right now, and you can click on it and go there, and you can watch that, because it will most likely be much better than this. So yeah, alright, so with that aside, we're gonna start the game up. You're gonna want to have a file already past Brown Mountain, because else you're gonna have issues with bottles, because you can't skip his stuff. So if you hold down A, the text will go faster, and then if you hold oh, I have a controller cam, I'm stupid. If you hold L, R, and B, you can skip the text. And then here he's asking you want to press A or B. If you're already good enough, you hit B to say you're already good enough. That way you don't have to learn all of the moves. Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna be good at this, guys. I am gonna leave chat overlay up, just because if you guys, I hope that you guys ask questions on the tutorial and then I can answer them, and that'll be kind of interesting to have as an aspect for it, but it shouldn't be too distracting. So you should already know this because Bottles tells you the first time that you learn all the moves and everything, but you hold down R to have the camera adjust to wherever you're facing, and if you keep it held, then obviously as you turn, he'll turn. So what I do is I hold R during this whole first section. Some people don't, but I do. So when you start off here next to Bottles, I hold R, and then I roll, and then at the very end of the roll, I flap out, because the roll is faster, and at the end of the roll, he slows down to kind of like compensate for the fact that he was going faster. So if you let the roll finish, you can see like that's super slow, but if you flap out, then it's faster. Once you get here, you're gonna wanna do a backflip. And this is like, it's just really stupid. Sometimes you won't get that, and no one really knows why. Also, the honeycomb that I just got has like 3 different spawns, I think. Like, it can spawn and just go straight to the ground super fast, or it can spawn kind of high up in the air, or it can spawn and just go flying way off the screen, and you have to wait extra time for it. Same with this one. So it's kind of annoying, just RNG depending on how that works. So I'm just gonna roll into the water, and then hold down B, obviously, to start swimming. And also, a really important thing with that section there was that you want to hold down R while you're swimming, because if you don't, then you can't do really like quick movements here. If I'm not holding down R, like if I let go right now, then I really can't do anything. Like, it's super slow. Oops. Okay. So yep, roll flaps all the way over here, and then a lot of people that struggle with this log is because they won't let themselves completely be touching this before they start doing their rat-tat-tap. That's, like, incredibly important. If you try to rat-tat-tap up there before you've touched the log, like if you go like that, like if you're right here, even if I'm just a tiny bit away, like if I'm like right here, you're not gonna make it. Like, it just, you have to go completely into it. So what I like to do is I like to roll and just literally hit the log and then rat-tat up. Roll down and then over here. And now there's another little trick with, not really a trick, I don't know, with this tree. You can do a backflip up, and then if you jump when you're at the very top of the tree, it'll just skip. If you just went up like that, it's slower. So you want to go until you can't see Banjo, and then you want to jump, and then grab it. And then here's a little trick: roll, rat-tat-tap. You wouldn't have to do this, but just time saves. And what's up, everyone, by the way? I'm probably not gonna talk to you guys unless it's questions about the tutorial, just so you know. But I'm glad that people are happy that I'm doing a tutorial, and yeah. Okay, so I just didn't get the skip, and I didn't even explain it, but I'm gonna do it right now. So basically, I had to talk to Bottles there, which wastes 3 seconds, but what you do to skip it is if you backflip up and you land right on this corner, then you won't hit the hitbox to talk to Bottles, and as long as you jump pretty much right away, like, you start holding forward and then jump basically immediately. Obviously, if you jump first and then hold forward, you're not going to go anywhere, so you have to hold forward first, but it's very, like, you know, you don't want to hold forward for very long, else you'll go right into the hitbox, and then you have to talk to him. Here you just hold start, or press start. Normally, as soon as the string goes black, you just hold it. And then here, you want to skip this text. Some people will skip the text before they even go up there, and I generally just go up here and then skip the text like right now, which is LR and B again. And then same for right to talk to the Jiggy wants to talk to you, LRB. Oh yeah, I was gonna clean up all the cords and mess behind the controller cam, but oh well. Too late now. LRB, LRB, A to put the Jiggy in. Shouldn't have to tell you guys this, but... And again, I'm just rolling and then pressing A to flap out at the end of all the rolls. Alright, go this way. Yep, I already kinda said that, Ash. The cutscene can only be skipped if you've already done that in a previous file, so yeah, you're gonna want to do that if you haven't. So, you grab this Jinjo, right? And now I'm gonna be doing a section where I'm actually gonna jump up the hill. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. You can just go. If you want to do that, then you just want to grab these 3 Jiggies, or these these three music notes, and then you want to go up the hill. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna 1, 2, 3 jump. 1, 2, 3 jump. Okay, and the whole way that this mechanic works, I might as well explain it now so I don't have to explain it again later, is there's a timer, so you can stand, like here, it's fine. Like, I can jump a few times, but there's a timer, so as soon as you are not on flat ground, like, I'm on flat ground, and now I'm not, so as soon as that timer starts, you don't have very much time before it will start sliding, but you do have a little bit of time, so you can do a few little hops. So for this last one, this is basically the only tricky part about this, and it's not that tricky, but maybe for starters it is. Some people like to roll when they start, but the tip I'm gonna say is that you want to do little hops, because then you can get 3 in. If you try to make like 2 big hops, when you go for the third one, you're gonna slide. So you want to go little, and then the last one obviously you want to be as big as possible and flat. Okay, and then you can do this if you want to be super swag, but you can go on the other side of the fence as well. Generally want to kill that guy because he creates lag when you break these huts. Try to grab that music note right there, like that. Okay. The infamous Ticker's Tower. So, building on what I last said, that there was a timer, there is also a glitch on Banjo-Kazooie cartridges that are 1.0, which means that if your cartridge, if you look on the back of it, I wonder if I can actually show this on webcam. Okay, this is not Banjo-Kazooie, obviously. This is my Rayman cartridge, and I don't know how well this is gonna work, but I'm gonna go ahead and try it. Alright. Oh, it's a little bit dark. Basically, there's numbers on the back imprinted on the side right there. And if there's a letter with those numbers, that means that you have the 1.1 cartridge, and you can't do this. So you have to have a cartridge without the letters on it. You just want numbers. Okay. So, now, the way that this mechanic works is Banjo's not supposed to be able to be on these slopes, so you only have a little bit of time when you get to the slope to jump away from it again. And if you try to do it twice, like, let's say you jump on a slope and then you try to jump again. Oh my god, I can't even jump. You can do a bear punch, by the way, to buffer it. If you try to jump again, then you'll just slide off and there's nothing you can do about it. The first one you can just bear punch, and then if you jump again, then bear punch, it just doesn't do anything. So, what you do is if your shadow touches flat ground, like you can see the shadow underneath Banjo, if that touches flat ground, it resets that counter, so you can jump on it again. So what you do is you can do this all day. And that's how this works. But as soon as I don't, if you watch my shadow, as soon as it doesn't touch flat ground, so touching flat ground, this time not touching flat ground, doesn't work. So that's basically the mechanic, and it's going to be used a few times. It's going to be used after we leave Mumbo's, and it's also going to be used in Goaties. Alright, so this is basically what I'm doing. You can roll here to help for the timing there. And you can technically roll on all these, but that would be really weird. I just kind of do it for those two. Darn, ticker. Alright. Oops. So then here, you just want to do a little jump like this. There's a faster strat. It saves like a second, but that's okay. Okay. And then here, you can roll and then jump up. You wouldn't have to roll, but you know, that. Oh yeah, and then I should also explain that the Xbox Live version cannot do any of this stuff, or cannot do the that termite skip I just did, and also can't skip text like I'm about to do right now. Skip text. So, yep. So now we got Talon Trot. We're gonna grab these. There's a Mumbo token behind that Stonehenge thing, and I guess you could grab it if you feel like you're always low on Mumbo tokens when you get to. I feel like Freezy Peak, too. Freezy Peak, when you have to turn into a walrus, some people can have trouble having enough Mumbo tokens then. I mean, if you do, then you can grab that one. Oh yeah, also I'm just cruising through this. It's basically just straight movement. It's just movement that you need to practice. And obviously I'm kind of butchering it. But this is important though. We're about to do a part that's going to be tricky. I am going to jump down and I'm going to land on the orange pad. And then when you see Conga's arm flash on the screen for a second because he's throwing the next orange, that's when you move to the next pad. This way you can save a few seconds because you don't have to wait for a third orange to be thrown. Hopefully I get it. That'd be kind of embarrassing if I didn't. So we're going to jump down here. We're going to wait for him to throw. He threw it, and then we do this, and I actually did get it, but then I got hit by him. That was close though. I didn't think I was going to get it. And then I just jumped in the air to avoid having to throw the orange from down here. So basically, right about here, don't throw oranges at me, please. After here, when you go here, the Banjo will have an orange over his head, and so you're slower, and then when you throw the orange, you can't move, and so it's bad. So basically, you just want to roll and then jump and flap up here, or even better, you want to jump and land right about here-ish, is about right. And then right as the cutscene switches to Chimpy, you can do a jump on like a few frames, I think, as well. So you can just jump like that up there, and that will save a tiny bit of time as well. Alright, so here you just want, I don't know what I'm doing. You just want to do Talon Trot and then Rat-tat-tat out to talk to bottles. Get rid of the egg text, that can be annoying. Okay, Conga is really annoying. Hey Smasher. So basically, we are gonna shoot one egg, and then we are gonna wait until right before he throws his next egg, and then we're gonna shoot another one at him. And then, if all goes right, then after the second hit, we will jump over to the other platform and shoot him from over there to just save a little time. You don't have to do this. You can just shoot all three of them here at him. The most important part, though, is that after you hit him the first time, you have to skip the text right away. Because if you don't, then you're gonna cause kind of like a glitch where you can't hit him until he pounds his chest. And I don't know why that is, but basically, after you hit him, the very first hit, immediately cancel the text, and you'll see me do that, so. Okay, so we cancel his text here, we shoot him, and then he's gonna say more text, cancel that, and then we shoot him again. We move out of the way, and now we can go over here, and then we shoot him from here. I like to shoot 3 to make sure I hit it. Of course, I didn't, so try to spray fire everywhere, kind of like a spray and pray. I don't know. Spray and pray? No? No? Conga? Anyone? Did I do something wrong? I didn't. I don't know what's going on. There we go. Okay. Hit the witch. Yep. Spray and pray, though, honestly. So we're gonna get this Jiggy. Now, it's important right after this cutscene finishes, you want to go to the next pad, and then move out of the way as he throws it. That way, you can get this Jiggy during this cutscene, which saves a little bit of time. Okay. Ooh, it's almost time for quick dive. That's going to be fun to explain. Alright, so people always wonder why this works, and basically, the reason quick diving works, we have to jump up here. That's kind of actually, you might want to practice this a little bit, because I remember I had trouble trouble with this when I first started. Just remember to do little jumps for this. You don't want to hold A and try to do these big jumps, because then you're going to run into issues. Because you might slide back down because of the timer. Again, with that timer thing I was talking about earlier. So you grab this, and now we're going to do a quick dive, which basically is, as you're entering the water, if you let go of Z, there's an animation that plays. So that during this animation time, you are not affected by physics for water, so you can't start swimming. So you just fall through the water like it doesn't exist, which saves time in probably, I think, at least like 8 places in the run. So it's kind of like a cool little trick to do. So it's definitely good to get used to it. Maybe even more than 8. I think it just depends. There's definitely more that you could do. You don't have to do. Okay. So I'm gonna basically get as close to the water as possible, and then after I start sliding, you want to let go of Z, and then during your falling you should just go straight to the bottom, like that. So now I'm all the way at the bottom. That obviously was not like perfect, because you want to be as close as possible to music notes when you go under, but it works. And then I just did a little jump here, like that. Talon Trot, you can jump up here. And let me get this out of the way so I can see. What if, after you explain every level, you save the game onto another file to do the route for the level, so you can see how it would look all together? I don't understand why I would need to do that. Oh, no, they don't need to see the route for all the levels, Ash, because you can just watch. You shouldn't even watch my run if you want to watch the route. I would just watch Stivity Bobo's run. So I have, again, a link to Stivity Bobo's. If you're like, oh, this is too slow paced and I just want to see like the route, I don't need to like know all these little things. Like Juju there, I probably should explain that a little better, but it's better to just watch Stivity Bobo's clean runs, so, or 615. Alright, so we're gonna do a backflip up there. Okay, here's a little thing you can do. It's kind of similar to Talon Trot skip. It's basically right as you're about to fall, if you enter Talon Trot, then you can fall while the animation plays, because you can't move. Like, see, I'm moving right now. You can't move while you enter Talon Trot, so that wastes time. But if you fall, you can enter Talon Trot in the air, so that can save a little bit of time. And there's a few places to use that as well. Okay. Oh, I don't need to do a Super Mario Sunshine tutorial, because there are a lot of good tutorials already. I think you can find them by going to Samurai Man's description, and there's stuff that Tofu made and stuff like that, so. Okay, so this level is basically over. We're gonna grab the last 6 notes and the Mumbo token, and then we're out of here. And now we're gonna do a tricky Termite Hill thing. Skip his text, and then again, this is going back to that shadow needs to touch flat ground thing. So we are gonna do, it's basically backflip and then flap away from the mountain to touch flat ground, or to have your shadow touch flat ground. And then when you come back, you're gonna do a double jump, so tap A twice. Then you want to hit B to do a roll. During that roll, you want to hold Z and then press A to do a backflip. And then you want to move as far up as possible on the mountain, and then you want to press Z again to do a ground pound. It sounds ridiculous right now, but it's, once you, what I would do is I would just do the first part. Like, I would just say, okay, backflip, and then do this. Okay, like, I can do that. Like, this is easy. And then build on it and say, okay, now I'm going to do backflip, and then I'm going to go double jump. and then slide down. Like, okay. And then now I'm gonna do it all. So I'm gonna go this, double jump, roll, backflip, ground pound, get the jiggy. Alright. There's a little trick you can do there that I kind of messed up, but nothing to worry about. Okay, so here's a cool little thing you can do. When you enter Talon Trot, your hitbox changes slightly. So what that means is that if you, right as the animation starts, if you're in the right spot, like if I'm just barely not in the entrance, obviously you don't want to do this like the way I'm doing it now because that'd be super slow, because it saves like, I don't know, maybe a quarter of a second, maybe less. But you can do this a decent amount of times in the run. So if you enter Talon Trot, when you're right in the right spot, here I'll just do it. That way I can. But I messed it up. But yeah, basically it's called like just like a Talon Trot skip as you enter the next zone. So it's just a precise little thing. You have to be in the right spot, and then when you enter Talon Trot, it'll immediately go into the next room. And all it does is it just skips the time that you would have to do the Talon Trot. That's all it does. Okay, in this room, you just want to hold down and then just press A. Make sure you hold A on that. That's like it. People like to change the camera. Just hold down the whole time and you'll get into the spot. And then here you just want to do some platforming. And then a lot of people, I don't even know if this is faster anymore because I saw Steve not do it, but it probably is. You just, when you jump here, you want to rat-tat out and then land on the chest and then fall in, instead of just doing Talon Trot into the chest. Whoops. Sorry, that was a problem. Grab that. Embarrassing. Okay. Wow, it took me a long time to go through Mumbos, I feel. Alright, so here you can either enter Talon Trot and grab these, but that's slightly harder. Most people just grab all of them like this and then go into Talon Trot. And now we're gonna jump from here all the way into the entrance to the ship. Here. Just like that. Okay, here you want to hold down B to swim, obviously, but the more important part is you want to hold down R, which I'm doing, so that you can make tight turns to grab all this stuff. Else you really can't do that room at any, like, fast at all. Okay, here there's Leaky Skip. There's actually a slightly faster route now. If you're interested, it's you want to grab these four, and then these 4 notes, and then you come up here from this corner and you shoot the eggs right about here. But then it's harder to get over to Bottles and talk to him before the cutscene starts, which is hence it's called Leaky Skip. I don't know why it's called Leaky Skip, because you don't skip Leaky at all, but yeah. You might just want to feel this out yourself, but for me, I feel that right about here is good with, like, this angle. I don't know. And then you want to talk to Bottles, please. I didn't get it. Basically, you want to talk to Bottles as soon as possible afterwards. And then... Nope. For anyone who doesn't know what I'm doing, it's just... Yeah, see. That's Leaky for you. The problem is that he bounces up and down and he moves a little bit, so it's kind of... I don't know. Sometimes you'll feel like your spot that you usually get it at is, like, not very consistent. You can get it consistent, though, it's just kind of precise. I don't know. Skip all this text. 3 text boxes. And now there's a mumbo token here. Immediately afterwards, we're gonna flap off and then do a ground pound into this. And then there's another Talon Trot skip where you, right before you fall in, you want to enter Talon Trot. Here, I'm going to do a quick dive, which is slide, and then as you fall off, let go Z. And that's how you do a quick dive again. I probably won't explain the quick dives from now on. I'll just say that when I'm gonna do them, so you understand, and then, yeah. Here, it's possible to have Blubber in a position where you can be right on top of the Jiggy during the cutscene, and it'll save a few seconds, so. But it's RNG based, so just depends on where he's gonna be, and he's in different places every round. Okay, flying is probably, like, if you've gotten this far in the tutorial and you feel like you're pretty good at the run so far, TTC is literally gonna destroy you for a little while until you understand how to fly correctly. It's kind of annoying at first. The main tip I can give you is that holding R will make sharp turns possible, and get used to holding up and down and the differences that they make, because if you hold up, then Banjo will kind of dive and kind of move towards where you're going faster. Not really, but I don't know. Like, I just mean that, like, if there's an object beneath you that you want to get, you can go down, you'll kind of, like, precisely dive at it. And then if there's something another alternative would be if you want to kind of slowly aim at it, you can do this, but it just kind of, it just depends on the situation. You'll see as the run goes on. So yeah, it's just something to pay attention to, and I'm going to basically slow myself down by holding down before I grab this music note. So here it is. I'm going to slow myself down by holding down a little bit until I'm kind of in the right spot, and then press A right before I touch the ground. If you miss that music note, it's not that big of a deal. I'll show you what you do. Here you want to hold down to grab the Jiggy, and then as soon as you grab it, you want to press A so that you don't touch the ground there. Again, touching the ground in either of those spots will waste a lot of time. Turn and then flap up here. And now I'm going to be doing a Jiggy animation skip by getting the Jiggy while I'm flying, which is just, it's kind of just, you have to get used to how many flaps it takes. And then you want to hold up so that you kind of lunge towards the Jiggy, if that makes any sense. Okay, so then here, get the witch switch. Oh yeah, been streaming, it's 9 months long now, that's cool. Yeah. Fall down here, I like to land right on this one so that I can just grab these two and then just go on my way. If you missed that one music note and you kept flying and you went into the chest Jiggy, this is where you would go into to grab that one music note. So you have to remember to grab it. Obviously, if you miss it then and you jump down here, it's kind of run over. There's a faster strat to do this now, where you fall down the mountain. Like, you fall, and then you slide the mountain, and then you take damage, and then you come over here. And if you want to see that, 615 or Stiv's runs will have it now. Okay. So pay attention to the camera here. I mean, I guess if you want to do this slow you can, but basically what I do is I alternate between spamming A and spamming the camera right, and so that you can kind of keep the camera aligned while you keep doing it. Alright, this is a big problem with people who are starting the game, or actually for most people anyway. These stairs can be really annoying. The best tip I can give you is that right as you're falling to when you're here and you're still in the air, you want to hold down R to make sure you can align your camera as best as possible. And then when you go into Talon Trot, your camera will be just perfect, so you can just go straight up. And then come over here, go up these as well. And now this one's tricky because you have to adjust your camera very quickly, so sometimes it doesn't really line up correctly. Did a quick dive there. But yeah, that's the stairs. Oops. Oh, thanks, Paco-chan. Okay. If that crab's giving you trouble, you can kill him. Also, you can, if you're low on health, like let's say you have, I would say if you have 3 health or lower, you would want to grab that. You can barely see it because it's the draw distance is bad. The honeycomb thing there, grab a few. Reason being is because Snackers, we're about to be by Snackers and he might take some health. Also, then when you do the Nippers snip, the Nippers skip cutscene thing, always, it can kill you. This is honestly one of like the biggest run killers for people who will be starting the game. If you want to restart your run after this, I would suggest that if you miss it, you just go to the left and go around and go up the stairs again. But once you start to get better and you can't accept that really, yeah, you have to get good at this. Basically, you're gonna want to be right up against the wall, and then right as you're about to leave the wall section to go into like the open section where the Jiggy is, you want to hold forward for a little bit. If you hold forward too much, you're going to touch the ground. If you hold forward too little, you're not going to grab the Jiggy. So you did want to hold forward the correct amount, which is, you know, you just have to get good at. So, and of course I choked because I started the screen, or I put the start screen on, so I just didn't really know my forward momentum. Also, I'm just bad at games. Also, I'm trying to read chat. What are you guys saying? Well, at least it didn't land, right? Landing would waste a ton of time there. Alright, so you want to ground pound, and then you want to come over here. And then you can do a quick dive here, like so. Snackers sometimes can get you. If you are on emulator, Snackers 95% of the time will get you right there. I don't know, he just kind of, he gets there faster on emulator, don't ask me why. So, yeah. You want to come up on the top of this shell, and then as you fall in, the cutscene will start, and also text will come up. Normally, you would press L, R, and B to skip the text, but this is going to help you a metric, like, oh my gosh, it helped me so much when Stiv told me this. For some reason, for this text, you only have to press B to skip it. The reason that is important is because when you do L, R, and B, a lot of the times, your camera will reverse around, and then it makes it so that you won't clip in to Nippers, and then you'll take damage from them, and then you have to kill them the normal way, and it wastes time. So, wow, I've never even heard this music before. This is funny. So you're basically gonna drop in, and you're gonna press B to skip the text, and then you're gonna jump in behind him, and then you're just gonna want to like slide your thumb on L and B. If I die right now, I'm gonna be very sad. What happens now? What happens now? Honestly, what do I do with my life? Alright, we'll just continue from there. Yeah, so you do this, you do this. Sometimes when you enter Nippers, he will immediately do damage to you, sometimes he won't. If he doesn't do damage to you right away, it's possible, like, I've gotten it where I never even took damage from him, but I've also had it where he, like, triple taps me, and, yeah. Also, for anyone who's wondering who's watching, it doesn't matter that happened, because I can still get all the jiggies. Reset tutorial? Yeah, no. Okay. Yeah, I didn't really think about that, Smasher. I just didn't expect to die. I felt like if I would go slow, and I guess I should have just... I'll probably just grab extra health from now on anyway, because that is pretty sad, because now I won't have 100% of the music notes. Oh my gosh, am I actually gonna reset? Like... Should I cut it here and then continue? Should I cut it and then edit it? Like, should I cut it when I die and then just be like, alright, I'm gonna go back to this point and then continue? Or should I just continue and say that you're supposed to hit this X? Well, I think everyone knows that anyway. I mean, hopefully if you're watching this tutorial, you should know the game. You want to hit the X so that you get the Jiggy there, obviously. Oh yeah, also there's a jump there. That's kind of precise. If you ever are in a situation where you can't make, like let's say you feel like you're not going to make this jump, if you, what I just did there, I wasn't going to make the jump. I pressed B to rat-tat-tat out, and what that does is that just makes it so that you have a little bit extra height and you can get up. So if you're starting off and you're having trouble with making this jump, then you can do a rat-tat-tat up. Although there is a slightly faster route that doesn't do that now. There's a X there that you would ground pound. Didn't grab those, that's funny. I need those. Okay, and you're going to flap, and then when you come down here, double flap out. That's just kind of a timing thing that you have to get used to. People want it edited? Okay, yeah. So should I stop then, or should I start again? Like, damn it. Well, I guess I'm gonna redo that then. But I already grabbed that Jiggy. Damn it, guys. Well, I can't keep going now. I can't keep going now because you guys already told me that I should all edit it, so now I have to edit it. So yeah. Rip. Okay, so should I start over the whole goddamn game, or should I just whatever. Ugh. I'm not even watching the screen, I'm just watching chat now. No, it doesn't take that long. It's still just stupid. I shouldn't have died. Well, why does everyone want me to reset now? What is this? I'm not gonna reset and then redo the whole tutorial part, obviously. Whoops. Oh my god. I give zero craps about this. Just go back to where we were and continue it. I don't care about the controller cam because it's not actually controller cam right now because I'm not doing a tutorial right now. I have to get back to that point. This is why I don't usually do controller cam. Are you fucking serious? I forgot, will he refill my feathers when I talk to him? I don't know. I think I'm just gonna reset. I won't have any feathers for any of the other stuff, Ash. I could get some on the palm trees. I don't know. I was already missing a Jiggy now, so like I would have continued the tutorial, but then there wouldn't have been Jiggies in Nippers, and there wouldn't have been a Jiggy in the Outcove, so. I was almost done with TTC, so I don't have to re-explain all of TTC again. Whoops. No, there wouldn't be missing notes. Well, oh yeah, I see what you're saying, yeah. Well, I could get all the notes, it's just because they reappear, but the Jiggies don't reappear. So, what after it was edited, it would just be like, well, okay, there wasn't Jiggies there. That's weird. Oops. It's funny how little or how crappy I play when I give zero shits, because I'm not actually doing anything besides just going back to a certain point in the game. And it's not like I'm timing this to be like for practice to try to get a good time, so. And yeah, Nippers is mean. How many health did I have? 4? Yeah, I had 4 health when I died to Nippers. That is amazing. How would I die to Nippers with 4 health, honestly? Andy Pixel. Jumping once out of a roll is no good, because after you jump, then you'll still be slower, I think is how it works. Yeah. Like, see how after you jump, you kind of stop for a second? Like, you just kind of stop, so you want to go flap out. There's no slowdown after the end of that. Ugh. You know, we might have to do half of this tutorial now and half of it later because my internet might start kicking shit. And I don't want to have to, like, lower the quality for the tutorial. I want the tutorial in 720p. Like, it would be weird for half of it to be 720 and the other half to be 480. That would just be dumb. Or even lower than that, because I would have to lower the bitrate to, like, ridiculous amounts. And then, yeah, I can't even stream stable to, like, 360p at, like, from 930 to 945. It's stupid. Why did I grab this like that? Was I doing good so far, though? I don't really know if I was doing good. I was just talking a lot, I think. And then frickin' nippers had to end the tutorial. Frickin' nippers, man. Any suggestions? Talk less, talk more. Stop sucking. Tutorial ender. I wonder where I'm gonna cut it. Let's see. There's no loading screen where I could cut it. Yeah, because I'm gonna get that secretive segmented runs. Like, you know, all of my runs. Yeah, definitely. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I can cut it. I'll probably just... Should I die and then cut it and then be like, alright, I'm back? Or should I cut it before I die so then it's like, no, I didn't die, what are you talking about? Was I talking to the chat at all, though? I don't think I was really talking to the chat at all. Description of Smash's tutorial when it comes out. New Banjo-Kazooie 100% tutorial, now with less nipper deaths. Oh man. Only thing I was doing for chat was like, if I saw things that I should say, like things for like XBLA and stuff like that, and I'd be like, oh yeah, this person is XBLA, so. I don't know, I'm kind of just doing this tutorial quick and dirty for people that want it. Yeah, Smasher, I said, I don't know if you're here when it started, but I basically said, right at the beginning, I was like, hey, check the description, because it'll have links to Smasher's, I talked about the movement, general movement stuff, and then I also talked about, the, like, advanced tricks as well, that you tell, so. And then I also was like, and it'll also be linked to the world record so you can watch a clean run through of the route. And then, but I guess if I really wanted to put the work in, I could put like annotations for when I talk about a certain trick to the video for that trick and the time for it, but I don't know if I want to do that. I'll probably just throw it up with the edited TTC. Okay, we're not going to start it from here. Like, I'm not going to re-explain all the TTC because we're almost at the end, so I'm just going to go back to the point where we were almost done with it, and then I'm going to... Whoa, I missed that note again. That's so silly. Oh, you're gonna do that for your tutorial. That way you don't have to talk about it in the 100% tutorial. Yeah, that's clever. Yeah. Oh. What's up, Vark? Oh. Oh. Oh, V-Man. What happened to that run? That looked pretty good. Hey, Choco Pop-Tart. Oh my god, Leaky! I don't know, I think I saw a run that was like -8 when I stopped watching. You're like 40 minutes in or something. It was before Blossus. I assume Blossus wrecked you, or... Well, yeah, it's nice to have, it doesn't hurt to have more videos, but I basically, at the beginning of mine, I said, Smasher said he was gonna make a 100% tutorial, which will be better than this tutorial. So if there's a link somewhere on the screen right now, then you should go there. But it won't be there until you make it, obviously. Well, I didn't say it would be better. I said it. I think I said to Smasher's video that will most likely be much better than my video. So yeah, I guess I did, but I don't know. Well, honestly, I felt kind of bad because, like, I was gonna make the tutorial and then you said that you were gonna make a tutorial soon. I didn't know how soon. So I didn't know if, like, I made a tutorial and then a few days later you made one and you're like, what the hell? Like, why would you make a tutorial when I'm, like, literally made one, like, a few days later? But, so I didn't really know. But, like, I don't know, it's been, like, a few weeks now since someone told me I should do it. So I was just like, I don't know, I'll just do it. Whatever, quick and dirty, who cares? And... Hey, Emily. Oh yeah, so we're nowhere near the point. Yeah. I'm not wearing two different colored socks, I don't think. I mean, also, yeah, I don't know why. Sometimes my feet are on my chair, I guess. I don't know why that is. I do that. Why am I streaming my foot? Who knows? Oh, you wanted to get better at the game before you made it? Yeah, I probably should have did that. No, I'll just take the embarrassment of how terrible I am at this game just so that people can have a simple tutorial to look at when they have, like, no clue what's going on with the game. But yeah, honestly, like, people should just watch, like, Stiz World Record videos, so, like, if they watch my video, it's just to, like, try to explain what's going on in Stid's video. It almost, and then, so, at the end of my tutorial, I'll be like, alright, so now if you actually want to see a good run, and, like, you know, after you understand how the run works, then you should just watch this run, or whatever. It actually is just like that drawing, Blake, you're right. That, who did that drawing again? It was, can't remember. How many hearts do I have? Oh, 5. YOLO! We got 5 health. And before Snackers hits me and then bullshit happens and I die again. Oh, I'm gonna cut it right here, actually. I'm totally just gonna cut it right here because I messed this up. Alright, so now we're gonna drop in here and grab that in the air. It's kind of a tricky timing, but basically, as long as you're touching the wall, and then we're gonna do quick dive here. As long as you're touching the wall on that auto cove jiggy, and then you practice the timing, you don't want to hold forward too long or too little, because else you'll either touch the ground or you won't get the jiggy. Alright. And now, for Nippers here, we are going to enter Talon Trot, and then we're gonna fall into the cutscene, and we're gonna press A to do a jump. You know, I just realized my controller cam was off, and so people would be like, what was that? No, I'll edit it here, actually. I'm just gonna edit it as I fall in. That way I don't have to re-explain that, because I actually explained this for a while. Okay. Here we go, guys. Wish me luck. I'll see you on the other side when we kill Grunty, I hope. Alright. Oh my gosh. We did it. Okay, cool. Okay. That was actually really bad because my camera angle was wrong there. In here, you can grab this jiggy if you know where it is before you even see it. Just kind of like, if you jump in the right area, you can grab it. Although, the RNG with that crab's can cause problems, and if you have 2 or less health, I wouldn't suggest doing that. I would suggest going in there and then waiting for the crabs to come over and then ground pounding on them. Okay. So pay attention to the camera angles here. I'm pressing camera angles to basically help which way I'm looking during a lot of those parts. I mean, obviously you'll get used to the camera angles, but it just, like I tap twice for after that arrow, and then it just depends on the situation, but... Here you want to flap once, and then immediately hold down, and then double flap out, so that you can get this jiggy here. With that timing, it's kind of weird. Basically, as soon as you grab the Mumbo token that was in the air, then you want to start diving. Not immediately, but almost immediately. You just have to get used to it. If you dive too early, you won't be able to grab all 3 notes, and if you dive too late, you won't grab any of the notes because you'll be too far away. Okay, so now that we got 3 health right now, which is fine. There is another Mumbo token you can grab right there, but please. But you don't have to grab it. It's not part of the route anymore. Alright. You always want to shoot multiple eggs there. For some reason, if you shoot one egg, a lot of the times he won't, it won't break the treasure guy. I don't know why, but that's the way I've felt about it, so I always do too. And then on the top of that roof there, you wouldn't have to leave Talon Trot if you made the jump good. But because I wasn't going to make it up, still being in Talon Trot, I had to use the B button to do a rat-tat-tat out. And for this route, you're basically just spelling Banjo-Kazooie. Actually, I'm doing it wrong. I'm going to actually leave and go back so that I can do the better way that saves, like, I think a second. That way you guys know what's up with that. So, instead of getting that A right there, there's now a newer way where you go here. And then you do, N, and then you do... Okay. Yeah. It's funny because I've been playing the game for over a year now, and so I'm really used to the old way. So I still do it sometimes. Because I did that for like 10 months. Okay. So, this is a very interesting part. I'm gonna be doing a death warp here. If you roll into this crab twice, he will flip over, which means that he won't be able to move around, so you can control where he's gonna be. If he's moving around, he may hit you when you don't want him to, and you die or something, so it's suggested that you just roll into him twice to flip him over. Take damage until you have 1 health, which is why you don't want to have lots of health right now, because it'll waste time. And then once you have 1 health, you want to walk into him right underneath where the Jiggy is, which is right where he is. And because you have invincibility frames, you'll be okay for just a little bit. And then if you jump, as long as you jump up fast enough and then you ground pound, you'll grab the Jiggy, and then as you fall, you'll die. And that would mean that you can skip the last Jiggy animation, which is really long actually, because you have that 4-second Jiggy animation, and then after that 4-second animation you have another longer one that's celebrating the fact that you got all 10 Jiggies for that world. Okay, so, rolling him twice, flip him over. Have 1 health, walk in, jump, ground pound, dead. Okay. Now here you want to enter Talon Trot. It's just kind of like a when you leave this zone, if you're in Talon Trot, it saves a little time because you can just start going to the next area. Like you'll see that I'm already way far away from the thing right away because I was in Talon Trot. So it's suggested that you're in Talon Trot when you leave. Okay. Here, you probably want to grab 3. You can grab all of those feathers, but you don't have to. Stiv only doesn't grab the last 2 feathers. Okay. Now we have to go in here and get the warp cauldron. Okay. Okay, so here you want to fill in 2 of the notes by hitting A, and now you obviously had to skip that text, but what the text said was that if you hit Z, then you'll fill in all of them. So now on for the rest of the game, whenever we approach one of these, we just hit Z, and it will fill in all of them. And that's something that the game tells you, so you should know that, but, I mean, might as well just explain it. Maybe it'll help one person who's confused on that. Alright, so now we're gonna do Blanker's Cavern. Oh, also another little mechanic, is that if you do a ground pound, and after you land the ground pound, or if you do a backflip, sorry, after you land the backflip, you kind of stop for a second. Like, if I want to hold forward, I want to go right as fast as possible right now with the backflip. It's slow, but if you tap A right as you land, then you'll flap out of it, which will save a little time. So you can go flap out of it, which saves time, so... Yeah, so you want to flap. Basically, all it means is there's a few instances in the game where you just, if you have to do a backflip, you want to flap afterwards to keep your momentum. Obviously, try to land on the very edge of the switches when you do, to just save distance. Just little things, but that's the cool thing about Banjo-Kazooie is a lot of these little things matter a lot. Okay, here there's a fast strat that you can do where you slide and then you go up this way. I'm not gonna do that because I don't think that's a good thing to do for a tutorial for someone who's watching this who's probably hasn't played the game or speedrun the game at all or that much yet. It's basically for advanced users. I'm assuming that Smasher already has something for it. But yeah. So the reason I left there and I'm going back is because the gloop cycle, which we'll see in a little bit, would be different. So you want to make sure that you're fast here, else it'll... Like, if you fall, the gloop cycle will be different. You're gonna have to deal with some weird stuff. So try not to fall here is what I'm saying. It's not the end of the world if the gloop cycle is different. It's just nice to have it be a consistent same thing, because it's the thing that you had practiced before then, if you've been doing speedruns of it. So... Fun fact, okay, Smasher does not have a tutorial for that yet. It's pretty advanced, so I wouldn't worry about it. It basically, I guess this is probably a silly but good rule of thumb. If you don't know how to find a tutorial for that, you probably shouldn't do it, because that means you don't know enough about the community and the people and the runners and stuff to really even do the tutorial. But I don't know. 615 found it a while back, and some of the, like 615 and probably like the top 7 or 8 runners will do it. All right, so here we're gonna grab the bubble right there. Probably a little more than that now for the top. Probably more than the top 7 or 8, but yeah. Notice that I hold down R when I'm doing that to turn around fast. Again, I'm going to hold down R to turn around fast here. And I hold R throughout this entire section, actually. Alright. This is actually a really useful tip. When you get the final note, and then you are gonna go grab the one more bubble before you go up. As long as you go the correct route towards the Jinjo, because keep in mind you will be low on health, As long as you have 4 health after you grab the bubble, you will make it, but just barely. Unless you slow, then you won't make it. But if you grab the bubble and then you have 3 bubbles left, like let's say you just got 3 bubbles left, you're not gonna make it. So you're gonna want to grab air before you get the what is it? Whatever color Jinjo it is. So yeah. So I'm gonna grab the bubble, and I will have 4. So I can, in fact, go there. But like right now, if I had 3, like now I have 3. That's okay. As long as you when you grab the bubble, you have 4, then you will make it. Even if you have 3 right after that, it just means that it's gonna be really, really tight. So you better just make sure to not mess up. So yeah. Pretty drawn out explanation, but it's useful to know because a lot of people are like, oh, I'm gonna make it. So yeah. Alright. Shoutouts to bear punching, no big deal. Alright, so here there's 2 different ways you can do this. You can either flap, which is suggested for people who are new, or you can do Talon Trot and then you can Talon Trot over. I actually kind of like either way, but I don't know. I'll just flap. That's usually the safer way to go. And then here you just want to hold down R and Z and just kind of... I like to kind of move slowly with the tooth, which is why I hold R, because that way you can kind of make, instead of like jittery movements like that, when you hold R you can kind of make smaller movements, just like little movements. If that makes any sense? So yeah. Or I guess technically you wouldn't have to hold R. I just generally like doing it because then it kind of, the camera moves with it, so you don't have to, I don't know, you'd have to get a feel for it yourself. It's hard to describe. Here you want to try to land in the ring and then jump off it. It's not a huge deal, obviously, but it's like a second. Unless, of course, you don't go through the ring at all, then that's a huge time waste. Look at this. 21 rings? Perfection. No, it's not. 22 rings is much better. I think, did someone say 23 rings is actually possible with TAS, or what? I don't know, maybe. Smasher probably no. Oh, no problem, Danny G. I like making tutorials, so. Alright, so you want to grab 2 of those notes. You can actually grab 3, but it's a little tight. I wouldn't. Yeah, 2 is definitely the way to go. Or if you mess up at all, if you feel like you're slow and you definitely want to make sure you hit that bolt cycle, I would just do just 0 or 1. It's not really that big of a deal if you don't grab all of them. Because you have to go back through there, and like I already just grabbed all of them, it's a little bit faster if you get them before the bolt cycle, because you're waiting around doing nothing anyway. Here you want to walk in and enter Talon Trot animation skip thing there, so. And then you can either ground pound or do a rat-tat-tap. Rat-tat-tap, you have to be low to the ground, so sometimes it's easier to just do this. Alright, so you can either do the fin cycle here, or if the fin cycle is not lining up, you could do the thing to get up here. And what you want to do is you want to be aiming right into the corner, both with the angle and, Banjo physically right into the corner. Or, sorry, the camera wants to be aiming, right into the corner, and also Banjo. And then, if you look in just to the right of Banjo, there's a black square, and you can see the water level rising and lowering a little bit. It's a lot easier to see on emulator, but right now it's at the highest, and right now it's at the lowest, and it just fluctuates. When it's at the highest, you're gonna just want to go to the top of your jump, and then you want to press B to rat-tat up. You don't have to wait till it's the highest technically. Some people just like to just try it and go for it, and sometimes they get it, sometimes they don't. It definitely does help though. If you waited for the water level every time, you could get like 100% consistent at it, basically. Although the timing is a little bit tight to when you press B, so I wouldn't be surprised if 23 rings is tasks only. Okay, good to know. Oops. So here you just want to try to dodge these blades that I'm failing at. Wow. Do you see that? I didn't even hear the, I didn't even hear him get hurt that time. But it doesn't matter if you get hurt there, because you'll get your health replenished just like 20 seconds later at bottles. Although it does waste time, obviously, so. Here you want to hold down, and then approach the Jiggy, and then press A as soon as you grab it. And then we're going to talk to Bottles, we're going to skip all his text. If I had full health, then he would give me one less text, because this last one here is saying, wait, what is it? Oh, I guess it's the first text that he gives you is, oh, you're low on health, I'm going to replenish it, so, yeah. Oh my god. I actually am going to restart this because I should never lose health here and I have to explain this. If you walk right along this crease, then you won't take damage. So I can just walk along this crease, right? Which is really cool. Like, people new to the game are like, wow, that's amazing. Like, oh my god. But, and also then there's those notes, and you can grab them. As long as you go back to the crease pretty quickly, you shouldn't have any issues. So I can go here, grab it, here, grab it, here, grab it, like that. And then we're gonna go back. Just along the crease. There's nothing special to it, and it's not that precise, like, at all. So. Alright. This is just a minor thing, but if you, like, tap A a bunch up these, it can save time. So, I don't know. Okay. Also notice that we had a animation skip there, like a little skip of the 4-second Jiggy get cutscene that we have right here. Because it was underwater. There's a lot of other parts of the game where that will happen, so. The route tries to utilize that as much as possible. Also, I should probably say this a few times during the run. I'm not that good at the game. Like, I know the route, it's not as clean as other people. So, if you want to see a very clean run, like, let's say after you watch this video and you just want to see the route that you know now after this video, hopefully, and then you want to see it done, executed as fast as possible, and also as clean as possible, then I would watch Stibbity Bobo's World Record Run. Also, alternatively, you could watch 615. But yeah. And there's more people, and I'll probably feel bad if I don't mention all of them, but I'm just gonna stop there anyway. You can find the Banjo leaderboards for all the good runners. Alright, so for snippets, after that text, which you would normally just want to press LRB, obviously, you're gonna ground pound on both of them. You're gonna talon trot, and then grab all of these notes along here, and then you're gonna hold Z and then shoot eggs, or crap eggs, I guess, to both of the snippets. And if you do it correctly, you should be able to enter talon trot and go up to the Jiggy while the eggs are approaching the last snippet, and when he dies, the cutscene will start and you'll be on top of the Jiggy. Probably won't happen, but we'll see. Okay, I'm gonna have to kind of get a rig this. No? Alright, so once this guy dies, you shoot at this guy. If he dies to that, you get up here, right on top of the Jiggy, and grab the Jiggy. So, of course I did it slow, but at least I did it so I can show you how it's done, I guess. Alright, from here on out, we are not going to be grabbing, we're not going to be going, or surfacing anymore. We're going to do a death warp at the end of this level, underwater, so it's pretty tight. I'd say if you do it correctly, you have about 3-ish seconds, maybe a little less, before you drown. So you only have about a 3-second window for mistakes. So just try to make sure that you're being as fast as possible here. Be holding B the entire time, and also holding R for things like quick turning right here. Some people have issues with, like, they're turning too fast in here. Like, let's say you're going, like, all over the place like this. You can let go of R in this section just to kind of have, like, a smooth, you know, smoothly go all the way back there. And then you obviously want to grab that Jiggy and turn around as quickly as possible. So you want to be holding R. Alright, so now we're gonna dive down as soon as we get out of here. And get the last 7 notes. On this second to last note is when you want your air to go down, like right now. Yeah, or in between that and the last note. That means, like, you're gonna be okay as long as you turn around and get up there. If you miss that honeycomb, it's, you know, rough luck. You better hope that you can turn around fast enough and grab it before you drown, because else you'll have to go back and grab it after you drown. Alright, so, on to the next level. Oh! Yeah, well, honestly, I'm kind of surprised that there isn't a tutorial of, like, just the whole route. I mean, I guess because Banjo-Kazooie is fairly self-explanatory, but there is a lot of interesting small tricks and tidbits to point out that would be helpful to know. But once you understand, like, after you watch this video once, if you understand all the things that I'm saying, don't watch this again for reference for the route. Just watch Stib's run. Hold, or press Z here to get rid of or get all the jiggies put in place. Yeah, this is basically about a year overdue, I would say, Smasher. Alright, so here, we're gonna do, Talon Trot, and then I find that you don't want to jump from the very edge of this. You want to jump from, like, right here. And then when you go underwater, you want to wait until you're fully go into the tube and then press B. Like, you'll kind of see that it saves time, just the nature of how it works, because I kind of go into the next area. If you jump at the very edge of that platform, then you'll kind of slow down because you'll hit the wall. And so you want to jump earlier so that you kind of keep your momentum as you go into that pipe. That's another, again, like a little tiny thing to mention. Don't worry about it too much if you're confused by that, but... Also, I never said thanks for the raid, V-Man. I hope you're still here, but thanks for the raid. Okay. Here, you're just gonna take damage. It doesn't matter if you take damage here at all, because when you enter the level, you're gonna talk to bottles, so... Here, you are gonna use the way that the slope mechanic works, where as long as your shadow touches flat ground, you can jump on a slope again. It doesn't even look like a slope, but I mean, I'm technically on a little slope here, which is enough for the game, where if I jumped again on a slope without touching my shadow touching flat ground, it would slide off and I would take damage. So what you do is you want to alternate between each side of the pipe, and that way your shadow will keep touching flat ground. like that. The reason that you do this now is that you'll be crocodile after, or an alligator, yeah, crocodile, after this level ends, so you can't go over here and do this, so yeah, you want to do it now. Anything that you see in the route that you're like, why did they do that? It has a very good reason. There isn't really anything in this route that's just like, oh, that could be changed. Like, it's a very optimized route. I mean, there will be some things, but that could be changed in the future. But it's definitely not like a route that can be changed a whole bunch, unless of course a glitch is found. You know, there's always that. Crocagator. Wow, that is very original. Alright, so we got full health from bottles there. Obviously, you have to talk to him because he's giving you all these moves, but that was the second to last move. No, third to last move. We're still gonna get the beak bomb and also the speed boot turbo, whatever. Here, if the leaf lines up, you can take the leaf over. If not, just jump over and take the 1 damage. Here, we're gonna take 2 more damage. You can't do these notes without taking the 2 damage. You can get pretty close, but you really can't do it. Here, to do this as fast as possible, I'm going to jump away from the egg, and then I'm going to start moving back towards it and rat-tat-tat up the egg as I break it. Like that, and then I'm going to ground pound, fall over here, do the beak bomb, and then ground pound on top. The only one that you really need to know, or like, watch is the one where you turn around and rat-tat-tat back up. I'll just take the leaf back here, although you could take damage and go back. It's up to you. Alright. Whoops. After you shoot this egg into his mouth, you can enter Town Trot, and you can also start moving back towards the main route here. Oops. Grab some of these eggs if you need them, if you're low. But you shouldn't be low here. If you're low here, then you're gonna have problems with gobies, so you should definitely look out for getting some more eggs. You should have at least 20. Okay, here, you can't take damage when you jump down there because you start the cutscene right before you touch the ground, so you just damage isn't gonna happen. And then we're just gonna use Wonder Wing and kill these guys. I like to jump up and meet them in the air so that you can kind of make better contact with them. Ugh. I was waiting for that last one because you want to land on top of this Jiggy here, because then you get the little skip, a little bit of time save, I guess. Also, you want to make sure you have at least 4 health here. I think technically you could do this with 3, but it is now Huts time. So, the Huts. The infamous Huts. I've lost runs of this recently. I still do. I shouldn't, but I still do. Basically, the reason people have trouble with it is because they like to wait until after the peak of the hut. But you really want to jump just before you hit this peak. And then you want to rat-tat-tat as soon as you touch the next platform to get up it. So, like that. It really just takes some practice, and the problem is when you start to try to go fast and do them all in succession, you end up failing it like once, and if you fail it once, then you have to redo all of them. So yeah. I don't know why I broke that one. I was supposed to do the whatever. You got to see how it works. It's the same way for that one too. This one, though, this one, it's technically possible to do the hut jump, but it's ridiculously hard to time. Nobody does it, so. This last one is thankfully, I would consider the easiest, although if you did mess it up, it would also be the most tragic. So yeah. If you're having trouble with jungle huts and you feel like doing the first few, probably shouldn't do the last one. Okay. Do a backflip up here. You can technically jump up there while on Talon Trot, but it's a little precise. Let's do a backflip. I press R here to change my angle, and here too to change the angle around. And then I like to hold R here and get there like that. Do a backflip. Oops. This fly can be annoying. I like to just rat-tat-tat them, and then that was a pretty cool thing that I just did there. After I shot the egg, I went into Talon Trot and then jumped. During the cutscene, I went into the water, this water that would normally hurt you, but it didn't, because it was during the cutscene. And then after the cutscene, it still doesn't hurt you, so you can jump out of that water and be perfectly fine, save a little bit of time. Here, after you shoot this is the last one that you have to shoot of this crocodile guy, and then you'll get the Jiggy. Right after you shoot it, you're gonna want to do a little hop and or just walk towards the center where the Jiggy will be, so that you can get a little bit of a skip. Oops. I didn't get it because the dragonfly was in the way. Silly dragonfly RNG. Another silly thing about this dragonfly is, if he hits you during a cutscene, then you can actually move in the cutscene afterwards. But only if you get hit by him. And so that can provide a little bit of time save in a different way, but it's obviously kind of RNG. Okay. Oops. Alright, time for some memorizing. I'm not really going to talk during this because there's not much to talk about. Besides that, the hitboxes can be really trolly sometimes. And I think there's theories on why the hitboxes are annoying, but nothing concrete. Sometimes, I can be right on top of them just like this and it won't work. But it doesn't happen all the time. Okay. For this one, you're gonna want to type it in if you can't memorize it, like me. So I'm just typing it into my chat, or, notepad, or whatever. Just in case you forget it, so then you don't have to talk to him again, also waste a lot of time. Oops. Ah! Oh, there it was. There's one of them. One of the bad hitbox things. Alright. Move that from my chat. So I'm gonna go back and grab the Mumbo token, and then I'm gonna come over here, and I'm gonna do, backflip and then ground pound, and then grab the Jiggy. Okay, so now is a good time to ask yourself, how many health do I have? Because you want to have either 5 health or 3 health. If the reason is, if you have 5 health, that means that by the time you get to Vile, the crocodile, then you will have 3. And he hits you for 2 damage if you lose the Vile round. So if you're just starting and it's your first few runs, or actually, I'd say until you're, until you're pretty confident with the game, I would go with 5. That way, if you lose in, like, the last round, you can just take the damage, talk to him again, and repeat that last round, and then continue on your way. If you were to repeat the last round, if that would cause you to reset because your time's too good, and then I would go with 3 health, which means you will have 1 health when you fight Vile, and if you lose, then game over. So, yeah. But that way, then you can Death Warp as fast as possible, which you will see at the end of the level. So, I have 3 health, which is actually not what I want, because I'm doing a tutorial. I will take 5 health for if some crazy reason I lose to Vile, because sometimes the RNG can really screw you over. And yeah, so I will take 5 health, just in case. But normally I would never grab 5 health in a run. Okay. This is a little bit of a scary part. We're gonna enter Talon Trot, and then we're gonna jump over there as fast as possible. I actually find that Talon Trot gives you a lot of control over where you're, like if you're in midair, you have a lot of hang time and a lot of time to like adjust exactly where you are, to help make sure that you're not gonna land not on that walkway, because that would obviously be very, very bad. Okay. Here we got 2 text, and then we're gonna go up here, and I'm gonna grab this honeycomb. Please don't forget that. That would suck if you forgot that in a run, and then your run is, like, disqualified. Okay. Okay, we're gonna talk to Vile. Funny thing about Vile, you actually can't skip this text, because then he'll think that you're disagreeing to him playing the game. So you have to hold A here, go through the test as fast as possible, and then press A to accept the match, I guess. Whatever you want to call this horrible minigame. But yeah. I remember liking this as a kid, but in the run it's pretty rough. I mean, it's boring, but it's also scary. So it's like, it's just bad. It's boring because it's like long, and you can't do anything to do it faster. There's nothing you can do to make this faster. So it's just, you gotta not mess up. Which is why it's scary. If he has more or ties you at the end of this, then you're screwed. I guess I should talk about some Vile strategies, because there are a lot of Vile strategies you can do. One of the important ones is to try to be aggressive with, like, be on the offense, I guess I could say, for where you're grabbing your, I think they're called Yumblies. So, like, let's say he's going over to grab this, like, these, like, I'm gonna try to be in front of him, so I steal his before he can grab them. But obviously, if there's a bunch of them somewhere else, I'm gonna try to go over and just grab all those. But anytime I can be next to Vile, it's good, because you can steal his, because then he doesn't get any, which means you just get further and further ahead. But if you know that he's going to get there before you, don't waste your time, obviously. Because else he's going to do the same thing you were trying to do to him. But the first 2 rounds really aren't that bad. It's just the last round that can be pretty scary. Another thing you can do is you can jump and grab him in the air, like that. Perfect example. Even though he was kind of like closer to it, I was in the air and above him, and if you spam B, then you can get it. Here, to know when the Yumblies are going to change, it changes every, like on the 10-second mark. So right now it's going to change because we're at 50, and then it'll change again when we go to 40. Also, all these guys are disappearing. It's ridiculous. Alright, so I better get ready for the swap. So I'm gonna get set up with some reds. Basically, if you catch your eye on some, like, oh, there's some red ones, or like right now there's some yellows, I'm gonna go over to these yellows and be ready for the change. I don't know. That's just ready. Like right now, I'm gonna be ready for all these reds. I am. And this is where the game can kind of troll you, because you'll go for a bunch of them and they disappear in front of you, or, you know, Vile gets a bunch of just really easy ones right in front of him. Oh my gosh, please don't get that. Okay. Okay. I think a lot of people like to spam B here. Is it faster, I think? I mean, I don't know. If you're holding down B during this, you kind of can't, you don't have control of where you're going as much. You kind of slide around. Like, you can see I'm kind of like, whoa. So, obviously, you only want to do that when you're just going straight and you're not trying to do any technical stuff. Okay. Death Warp, which normally I would only have to get hit by this Firefly once, Dragonfly side, sorry, not Firefly. But because I have 3 health because I was doing safety strats, I have to get hit 3 times. Yep. Jump, leave the zone. Also, if you're trying to skip text as fast as possible, and, like, before the text pops up, you don't want to, like, spam all 3. Like, you can see my fingers, like, I'm moving all of them. That's dumb. Like, just, you want to hold down L and R at the same time, and then you can just spam B. That's what you want to do. Instead of spamming all 3 of them, you might as well just hold down 2 of them and just spam the last one. And that's kind of applicable for, like, the very beginning of the game when you first start. And there's some text that comes up with bottles. Okay, it's time for a little bit of a cool trick. We are going to do a jump to the hand that's pointing right here, flap onto it, and then we're going to go up to the top of the hat and get the Jiggy in there. Normally you'd have to fall through the hole in the ceiling, but this is a handy little trick. I suggest that you try to aim right for the, what is this, the middle finger? I think this finger down here is her middle finger. So yeah, aim for her middle finger. And then and then when you land up here, you won't be in Talon Trot. So you're gonna want to go here, and then you're gonna want to do a rat-tat-tap to get up. Whoa. Silly. What is this? Yeah, there you go. The momentum's a little bit thrown off there. Okay. here you can actually get up there, as long as you flap at the right time. Else you'd have to go around the 2 platforms, or like do a backflip up or something, so that's slow. Okay. After you hit ground pound this switch here, you can enter Talon Trot, which is just a nice little time save. So just... Oh, I didn't do it. You want to hold down Z and then just spam the left C to enter Talon Trot. And then it should get it before the cutscene starts normally. And then by doing the jump up here, you can get the Jiggy if you do either a roll or shoot an egg. Or technically this works, so I'll just do it to be silly. But yeah, normally you just want to do a roll or shoot an egg. So yeah. And there's a Momo token you can grab behind there, which I grab. It's pretty fast, so. You can either crap those eggs to do that, or you can just shoot them straight forward. Either or. That was a Talon Trot skip. If you missed it, you can just go back a little bit. You just... maybe saves like a third of a second or less, but you just enter Talon Trot right as when you're about to hit the zone, and you will do it as the animation is happening to enter Talon Trot. Okay, so now we're gonna do the first part of Freezy Peak. The reason that we have to do Freezy Peak and then go back to it again is because we need the Beak Bomb ability in Freezy Peak to finish Gobi's Valley. And then people would be like, well, why don't you just do Gobi's Valley first, and then... or why wouldn't you just do all of Freezy Peak first and then do Gobi's Valley? Well, you need a trick in Gobi's Valley to beat Freezy Peak. So the game creators made it so you have to double back. But technically, if you want to be all technical, there is a glitch in Gobi's Valley that makes it so you skip you don't have to go to Freezy Peak 1 for skip Beak Bomb, but it's only been done in tasks and it's been done a few times non-tasks, but definitely not in a run. It's way too tricky for that. But I wouldn't be that surprised if someone messes around with possibly doing it in RTA, but I highly doubt it. It's basically tasks only at the moment. Maybe if there's like a better setup for it. So I'm not gonna grab any of these notes, because grabbing notes in this game when you leave a level just puts them back there and you have to re-grab them. So all we're gonna be worrying about is getting the presents and getting Beak Bomb. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm getting the presents. Also, if you happen to fall back behind there, you can grab that Momo token now. That's okay. Okay. Whoa! Here you can do a Talon Trot skip in the air, where you just enter as you're falling. Or start your Talon Trot as you fall, sorry. And now we're going to get the Beak Bomb ability from Bottles. You want to try to be a little bit away from him, so that when you talk to him here, you slide forward. Just a little bit of a movement time saver, instead of bouncing off him, which would waste a little bit of time. Okay. Again, not grabbing any of the notes. We're just gonna Beak Bomb straight towards where you want to go to, which is to grab this present. Now we're gonna go up here, grab the last present, and then we are gonna do Pipe Jiggy. So Pipe Jiggy hype, everyone. And there's Pipe Jiggy. I was flying, so I was able to skip the animation, which is nice. Funny little fun fact about the Jiggies that spawn. They will spawn in different directions depending on the last enemy that you killed, what direction he was killed in. Like, if there was an enemy to my left and I killed him like this, going to my left, then if a Jiggy spawns some of the Jiggies will shoot off in a certain direction. It's whatever direction you killed the last enemy, which is really silly, but... So if the Jiggy was supposed to spawn here and shoot off somewhere, it would shoot off to the left. Okay. But of course, the Jiggy that just spawns and just goes, you know, straight down like that, that'll just be normal, and there's nothing that can be changed there. Okay. Gobi's Valley is going to be a fun one. I'm going to show both routes for Gobi's Valley, so, well, I guess they're not two different routes exactly, but just if you want to do Gobi's Clip or if you don't want to do Gobi's Clip, which I suggest that, well, it's actually kind of funny because even if you're new to the game, if you're on an emulator, I would suggest that you do Gobi Clip because it is actually very easy to do on emulator. But it's not easy to do on console. So if you're on console and you're just starting, definitely don't do it. So if you're not doing Gobi Clip, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to go up here. Whoa! I mean, if you know how to play the game, then you should already know this. This is nothing new. I hope that you played through the game and know what would be going on here. And you would shoot eggs into both of the nostrils. Okay. And that's also a good backup strat. If you miss Gobi Clip and you're low on health, you should do this strat. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to do the Gobi Clip, which is very finicky and can be very mean, especially when you have lower health like I do right now. But you don't want to lose health there, that's bad. Yeah, it's bad. Like, I don't know, it's risky to do Gobi Clip. Even if you are the best in the world at Gobi Clip, like, the best runners will still lose runs to this clip because of control. But basically what you want to do is line up an angle. I don't know if I'm technically the best person to look at an angle for this. It's probably just better to watch Stiv's run, but this angle doesn't look bad. And then you would just try to hold R to make sure that your angle is going to be good, and then you just do this until you get it. And I'm not going to get it right now, so I don't want to die, obviously. So now I'm going to do the backup strat, or I could technically get more health and just try it again so you guys can see it, but yeah, if you did what I just did and you were on emulator, then you would get it, so I wouldn't worry too much about it, I guess. If you're on console though and you're starting, don't do it. Not worth it. I still don't do it sometimes because it saves, I think people estimated it saves like 15 seconds-ish. And it, yeah, about 15 seconds. And what you get from that is, it's not worth the risk. Unless you're a really good runner. In my personal opinion, if you're on console and you're in, like, you'd have to be in, like, the top, like, 10-ish to do a Gobi Clip, else it's just not even worth your time, because you're gonna lose runs to it. But if you're on an emulator, yeah, go ahead. Okay. Whoa. Grab some of these eggs here if you're low. I actually am a little low. I'm gonna grab a few. Well, I'm gonna grab these. You want to have a lot of eggs for Gobi's Valley because there's a lot of different spots where you have to use them. World Record does do Gobi Clip, yes. And then there's the thing with Gobi Clip that sometimes you'll do it faster and sometimes you do it slower. Like if you get on the very first try, or if it takes you 3 or 4 tries, that can also affect it and make it not as even less of 15 seconds of a difference for doing it. So these guys, it's not the same route every time, unfortunately, so you just have to watch where they're gonna be. And some of these, it's a good idea to beak bomb, and some of them it's not a good idea to beak bomb, because you can either die or you're too close to it and you'll pass it or something bad. But yeah, obviously beak bombing is faster to get over there, so it just depends on your proximity. And how you're feeling, like how much health do I have. Like, I don't know, I'm not going to beak bomb that because I go through it and then I probably end up hitting the wall because I'm too close. So, but this one is way across the entire side, so I'm going to go ahead and beak bomb all the way over there. If you're really good at the beak bomb, you can actually grab that Mumbo token, which is nice. And also, if it's the last goal, you can beak bomb into the goal, and you'll stop, and then as you go into the goal. But sometimes that doesn't happen, and some people have lost runs because of that. And yeah, it's just kind of like luck of the draw. So if you're, in other words, if your name is Striker, you shouldn't do that. Alright. Here you wanna, you're just gonna shoot eggs in. You have to shoot 5. So, I shot 6 because just in case if one of them missed, then hopefully that 6th one would have landed. It probably would have landed in if one of the other ones missed, but it's not that big of a deal. It's funny, when you first start, that actually is kind of annoying to do, and so a lot of people will waste a decent amount of time there. And eggs. And if you run low on eggs, then you're going to waste more time gathering more so you can do the end of the level. So. Okay. Here is going to replenish my health, which is very important. Health is actually, like, pretty important in Gobi's Valley now, because you have to do tricks that waste health, and so there isn't a lot of health to work with. But obviously, because we're not going to be using the boots for this, because it would be slow, we're going to lose some health there, but we know that we're doing it, so it's fine. Alright. It is time for the Grab-A-Jiggy skip, or turbo boot skip. Normally you want to have the speed shoes here. That's like the whole point. That's the mechanic. You're supposed to have the speed shoes. But we're not going to do that. We are going to use the trick where your shadow touches flat ground and you can go higher. And we're going to go really high up onto the mountain here. And then we are going to jump towards Grab-A. And at the very top of our jump, we are going to rat-tat-tat. That is very, very important. The main thing that people like to confuse with this skip is that you want to wait longer to rat-tat-tat for some reason, or maybe you want to rat-tat-tat earlier because they think they need to make it there. If you think that you're trying to get there faster by rat-tat-tapping earlier to get it, that's not going to work. The only thing that matters to get this the first try, or to be able to do this trick, is you want to have as much height as possible. So, okay, so we are going to, well, actually, I'll be in Talon Trot. We're gonna jump up. Whoa, what am I doing? We are gonna jump up here, roll, and then at the very top of our jump, we're gonna do that. And then it is a little bit tricky to grab, so I'm gonna do it again. Top of the jump, grab the Jiggy. So I think the first time I didn't get it is because my jump to before the roll was not good enough. But my rat-tat-tap was good. There's a few different things that can make that so your height isn't high enough. Also notice that the running shoes song is going now. Just kind of like a weird thing that happens. They're both going at the same time, and it's just weird. Just just kind of like very quietly in the background, kind of creepy. Okay. You can also jump after you hit that switch, so you can get lower here. Oh, sorry. My knee was in front of the camera. I'm sorry. Okay. Here, you just want to follow this pattern. Although I think there's another pattern you can do too, but whatever you feel like doing, it's fine. You're gonna want to use Wonder Wing though to kill that guy. Okay. Oops. Yeah, normally jump here. That, nice. Okay. Now, the reason that the health was important is because we're going to be grabbing this honeycomb inside this cactus by taking damage. And so we only have 2 chances to get it. That's it. And if you accidentally took more health before this point, you only have 1 chance to get it. And then after that, you have to go grab health, which I will show you where that health is. As the backup strat or whatever. Wow, I actually was on the right timing for that. If for some reason you're lucky enough to have the rug show up at the right time or the magic carpet, then I guess you can take less damage. So I actually have 3 chances to do this because I have 4 health. But I am gonna stand next to the cactus. Just look where I'm standing. And then you want to wait until Grabba has fully emerged out of the ground. And then you're gonna backflip. In the middle of your backflip, he should hit you, which will bounce you up into the cactus. And you're going to want to be aiming with your analog stick, like the direction that you want to go as you're getting hit, because you can kind of control that as you're getting hit. Or like right before you're getting hit, I guess. You want to, at the top of your backflip, right before he hits you, want to hold towards that way. Towards the cactus. So yeah, alright, so this is basically it. I'm just going to show it. Right, once he emerges, get hit. Wow, that was weird. I somehow missed it, but then I jumped back through and got it. But if you mess it up a few times and you don't get it, there's health right over there, so you just get that. So we continue. Jump right as you're landing on that platform there, for that button or whatever, and you'll just, well, you'll go a little further, so just kind of a nice tip. Also here, don't worry about getting the feathers and eggs because you want to make sure you get to the top as fast as possible. And if you're on emulator, then you actually have like 2 seconds less to do this, so it's way harder on emulator. So the reason is that the door closes right away, like super fast on EMU, but doesn't close very fast on console. So when you fall in, you'd want to go over to the left, you want to hold left so that you grab that Mumbo token. Unless you feel like skipping it. Sometimes I feel like if I already have enough Mumbo tokens, I'll skip it because it's faster to just go straight for this Jiggy down here. Wow. Need some water. Water. Okay. This face, though, like, look at this face. Does anyone notice that? Like, honestly, so weird. Okay. I don't know why emulator is different than console. There's just weird little differences that I've noticed since I played on both of them for a while. Whoa. Okay. This is you have to do 3 of these. This is why it's nice to have extra eggs if you mess up on these. So especially if you're just starting, make sure you have a lot of eggs before you go into this part. Or make sure that when you shoot the eggs, you're making it count and you're not going to mess up. Or I guess there's only 2 left because we already did 1, but yeah. I like to hold R and rotate as I go with that. Like, slowly turn with it as I hold R. So, yeah. Okay. We're getting towards the end of Gobies. There's one more trick that we're gonna do. Pretty cool trick. Basically, we are going to jump up on this wall here because there's kind of like a slope, and then we're gonna get on top of the maze, which you can see how that would help you, obviously, because you can just walk over the maze. Make sure that you don't fall here, though. That would be kind of annoying. All your hard effort trying to get up there, and then you waste it because you fall back into the maze. Another little, a little tidbit that is useful is if you're in Talon Trot and you run into like a Jiggy, you'll waste time because you have to leave Talon Trot. But if you press B, which is rat-tat-tapping, right before you touch the ground, or right before you touch the Jiggy, then you will immediately cancel Talon Trot, which saves a little bit of time. So basically all I'm saying is, if you're ever grabbing a Jiggy, make sure you cancel Talon Trot by pressing B, which is rat-tat-tap, as you're going into the Jiggy. It's good to just rat-tat-tap into all the Jiggies, basically. So yeah. Or just don't be in Talon Trot when you grab a Jiggy. Okay, so now I'm going to do a quick dive. Interesting thing about this quick dive is that if you actually do the quick dive good enough, you'll go all the way to the bottom, and you'll take damage because the game thinks that you're not swimming and that it's like before when there was no water and there was sand at the bottom where you take damage. So hopefully I can show that, because it's nice to be at 1 health because I have to do a death warp at the end. Alright, so I'm going to do that. Oh, I was so close. I was so close. I almost took damage. But yeah. If you have 1 health and you're gonna do that quick dive, well, actually, no. If you have 1 health, don't do that quick dive, because if you do happen to go all the way to the bottom, you will die on the bottom while you're underwater. And it's really sad. It's like, wow, that glitch just killed me. And I totally saw it coming. I don't even want to recall I've had 2 or 3 runs where I've died to that, and it was bad. It was not fun. Okay. Alright, so here, we're gonna grab this Jiggy while we're in Turbo Talon Trot, or whatever, the speed shoes, because then it skips the animation. You can just grab it and go. So I guess that is a special case where I was saying that you don't want to be in Talon Trot when you grab Jiggies. If you're in, you know, one of the specialty, if you're in speed or whatever, speed shoes, that's fine. Hold B to get rid of the speed shoes, by the way, at the end. Okay. And I'm just taking damage here to Death Warp. Okay. So now we're gonna do an immediate hard right and go up here to go to Mad Monster Mansion's picture to open it. Try to do a Talon Trot skip. Missed it, it's fine. Doesn't waste time, it just doesn't save that extra little tidbit. Okay. Then after Bad Monster Mansion, we are going to go back to Freezy Peak. You don't want to go up, you don't want to be anywhere near that fish, because they'll still start going towards you. You'll take damage and you'll waste time, so try to stay a little bit low until at the very end when you want to go up. Okay. Whoa, I fell down. I actually want to show that off, so I will go back. Tomorrow, I will probably be doing more Banjo and maybe some Super Mario Sunshine. Okay. So, this Mumbo token is the reason that you go over here, but also there's another reason. If it was just that you would get this Mumbo token, it wouldn't be worth it. But the nice thing is that you can do a quick dive, which saves a lot of time, because this quick dive, you know, you go all the way down to right here. And, so yeah, that's what you do. You go over there and then quick dive. Obviously, if you fell, then it's not worth it to go back just for that Mumbo token, so. So it's actually, like, it's not a big deal if you fall there. It just means that you're gonna have to pick up a Mumbo token in that monster, unless you already know you have enough. Then you'll probably be fine anyway. Nope. Alright. Whoop. There's a little thing there that you can do. It's basically just a swag strat at this point. It doesn't really save time that much. Maybe a little. The reason that it would save a little is because you have to flap out or rat-tat-tat out. If you just try to jump down there, you will take damage because it's too high up, so. Okay. Okay. These ghosts can be kind of annoying. It's best to just watch where they're gonna be. Sometimes they'll be in different spots, but you'll probably just get a feel for it after a while. Sometimes you will get hit though, and it's not the end of the world. It's happened to all of us. Oh. Whoa, bat. Whoa. That bat though. Thank you. Alright. Here, we're gonna break both these windows, this side and also the opposite side of the house, but we're not gonna go in because we only need to go in as a pumpkin. Shoutouts to my favorite level, Bad Monster Mansion. This bat, though, I know he's gonna troll me. I know he's gonna. Okay. Alright, so here, if I were you, I would change your angle, or, you know, your camera twice, and then I would come around and like that. Rat-tat-tat, kill that guy, get the health. Health is actually important in Mad Monster Mansion as well. Mostly because there's a trick that takes some health, and then you have to go through the well, which can take some health, and then after all of that stuff that takes up health, you have to do the church, and the church with low health is never a good day, ever. It's really bad, so, yeah. This room's really easy, you just go into Talon Trot and then go around, and, like, I don't think I've really ever been hit by those guys, so. Okay. Alright, so there's a Mumbo token, for some reason right in the middle of these flames, but there's no hitbox, so you can actually, well, I don't know, it's weird. If you just walk into it right away, then you can't get hit by the flames, but, like, I don't know, I tend to just jump like that and just grab it. Kind of just get used to it, I guess, but you'll see, like, a lot of the good runners will just walk straight through the flame right when they walk in. But it is possible to get hit by it. I just don't know if it's like just because you just entered the room, or if it's more just because they're avoiding a certain side of the flame. But if you are getting hit by that flame, then I would just jump a little bit and get the Mumbo token. Okay. Now we're gonna go in the cellar. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oop. Talon Trot skip as you fall down. It's a nice little bonus. Oh, you don't have to open that. Actually, I might as well explain this. There's a Mumbo token in there, but the cool thing is that if you get that Mumbo token, because there's only supposed to be, I believe, 15, or maybe it's, yeah, I think it's 15 or something. Well, whatever. There's a certain amount of Mumbo tokens that should be in this level, and if you get that Mumbo token, the one that's in the toilet sewer where there's a Jiggy at the very end when you're a pumpkin won't appear, because else there'd be too many in the level. So those two Mumbo tokens are attached to like the same value, so if you get one of them, then the other one's gone. So that one's not faster to get, but so you just want to get the other one. But so you break the entrance to this Jiggy, and then you're gonna turn around and you're gonna shoot that one to get that Jinjo. The reason being is then you don't have to leave Talon Trot to break. Get out of here. You don't have to leave Talon Trot. So I can just enter Talon Trot right now, and then I can go get the Jiggy. I don't have to break this door, so I can enter Talon Trot, and I can just go on my way. Alright. Gotta break this door here, that's important, don't forget that. Oh, also, I probably didn't even really talk about this, but the door outside of Bad Monster Mansion, the reason that you get that is before is because you have to go there as a pumpkin, and you can't get to there as a pumpkin without breaking his banjo. So the game honestly was pretty cruel the way it works, because you'll get out there as a pumpkin and be like, oh, now I want to go there, and you can't, so the game makes you backtrack if you don't get the gate beforehand. I am from Minnesota. Okay. You don't need a ground pound there. Oh, I actually never really talked about that. It's kind of a cool mechanic. After a ground pound, you're invincible while you're falling towards the ground. So if you're at a really high height and you don't know how to get down, you can just ground pound and then fall off wherever you were, and you can land without taking damage. It also works the same way with enemies, though. You can go through enemies that way. So like if an enemy is going to approach you, and like that ghost, if I ground pound, I can just go like straight through him. Alright, so here, enter Talon Trot right away, because else you'll slide off the roof. Here's a really important strat now. Basically, you're going to want to go as far up and do your jump as far as possible, so that you have to use Rat-Tat-Tap to get up on the top of this wall. The wall will hurt you, because there's like vines and stuff on the top that hurts. But after you get hurt, you're invincible. You're going to jump over to the next wall, which would also hurt you, but as long as you immediately jump off that wall, you won't take more damage. Now, if you did take more damage because you didn't jump early enough, then it causes a chain reaction where you fall and then you take more damage because of the height difference, and you can die or you can be really low on health. So it's just important to practice this trick. And so basically, the important thing is to jump right away right there. If you wait to jump there, then you'll take more damage, you'll fall, you'll hit the ground. So like, let's say you take damage on the wall over there, you get over here, you take damage there, you'll fall, take damage here, and then even better, you might, or even worse, you might actually fall into this water and then take more damage. So it's just really bad to, like, it's a really stupid chain reaction that can occur. So I would suggest either getting used to it or just not doing that trick and going around the long way. Whew, a lot of talking. Alright, so, whoop, I didn't go inside the bucket, and I grabbed that note. That's kind of awkward. Okay, so for here, obviously, want to be holding R, because you're gonna need to do precise movements. Whoa. I actually like to grab this Mumbo token. Okay, so like, as long as you time it correctly, and you press A after, right as you're grabbing the Mumbo token, I guess, or a little bit after, I guess. When you press A, he will basically completely stop. And that's a good way to stop, turn around, and get the heck out of there, because else you're going to get hit by that tentacle where the Mumbo token was. So. And again, I pressed A there to stop myself from hitting the tentacle. Okay. Okay, cool. I got to show that skip. Basically... Oh, come on, get it. There you go. That was silly. It's like... When the cutscene starts, you don't have control of Banjo, right? But if you start your jump as the cutscene's right before it begins, then he will continue his jump afterwards. And so basically, you start your jump, the cutscene starts, and then so right as the cutscene starts, the Jiggy spawns, and you get the Jiggy, and you fall into the water. And then that way you can actually skip the Jiggy get animation or cutscene thing. That's like 4 seconds, so. Just a nice little skip. You just have to time it correctly. It's kind of a precise timing. I'm also going to try to do the same thing in Rusty Bucket Bay, but that timing is even more precise, so we will see about that. Oh. Oh. Okay. You have to use Wonder Wing there to kill the ghost. There's no other way to kill them, so I tried to use Rat-Tat-Tap to save that. So the church really isn't that bad unless you're if you're low on health. It can be very scary. Okay, not much to explain here, just that you should memorize it. I guess I can give you a strategy for memorizing it, which for me was just start with a little bit and then build on it, you know? Like, do that first section, which you should be able to pretty much just do by watching it and then doing it, and it shouldn't be that hard to remember it. And then this one is just kind of take it in parts, like, okay, I can remember the first 3 keys, and then the next time you try to do it, you want to try to remember through the first 5 keys, and then the next time you want to try to remember all of them. But I suggest that you learn it right away. Like, when you start playing the game, when you get to Bad Monster Mansion, you're learning Bad Monster Mansion, I would suggest just learning it, because if you don't, and you just follow Ma's hand, I believe it wastes like over 30 seconds to just follow what he does, or even up to, I could be wrong, but I think it's like actually more like a minute or something ridiculous. But at least 30 seconds, and that alone is already like way, way too much. So. Oh, also you can do a thing that, whoa. Whoa. You can do a thing there where you grab the Jiggy while you're flying. So I can show you what that would be. You basically skip the Jiggy, and then you would go over here, and then you would grab the Jiggy like that. Skip the Jiggy animation. Here, turn around, press R to adjust your angle or whatever. I would suggest being careful here. Okay, one of the major mistakes people will do, or I've done in the past, is I will attack that guy as I'm going onto this platform. Just avoid him until you're actually over there. Because, like right now, if I was to aim at him and attack him, I would, after I kill him, I would bounce off him and go off and die, because I would fall all the way down. So, get over here, and then you can kill him or attack him if need be. But he will actually kind of rebuild himself pretty quickly. But there's two strategies here we can do. We can do a ground pound and fall, because you can't take damage. But the faster way is to do a roll and then flap out of it, like this. But again, if you're having trouble with that, you can always do the ground pound and just fall down. Which would basically look like this. You would just be here, and you ground pound, and you go down. You can't take damage for as long as you're falling, if that happens. Which I will show you in Freezy Peak 2, actually, which is the next level. Okay. Whoa. I've like never done that before. That was... Oh yeah, if you didn't know, there's a little secret room in here. Might as well show it now. Secret room with eggs. The reason I showed it to you is because if you run out of eggs during the next section, that's where you want to go to get them. Also, wow. That bad. Oops. Okay. Grabbing all these notes. Oh yeah, if you're uncomfortable with walking along this, let me get up there without falling. If you're uncomfortable jumping along this, another thing you can do is you can just stay down here and then jump up and kind of, move a tiny bit up to just grab them, That's what I would suggest doing when you start. Okay. So here's the section with eggs. So let's say you shoot an egg here, and you're like, I have, right now if you had 4, you wouldn't have enough. So you would have to go into that window there. Because there's 5 left. Wait, or there, no, there's, wait. If you had, no. Yeah, if you had 3, because there's 5 of them. So yeah, because 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th one. Also, I can do a strat here to show you. Oh, I missed the pot. But yeah, there's 5 pots, so if you have to have the 5 eggs for it. There you go. There are a lot of difference between, well, not a lot, but there are differences between N64 and emulator, but it is definitely okay to run this game on emulator. So, wow, that is amazing. I just got washing machine, so that's kind of a funny thing to have it happen in a tutorial. So basically it's like a 1 in 40 chance or something like that, and then there's also that you can get a T-Rex, it's called, which is like 1 in 70 or 80 chance, which is even rare. And you don't actually transform into T-Rex, unfortunately. It just says, oh, that was supposed to be for the next game, Banjo-Tooie. So, yeah. Also, I am dropping frames now, which means that after this level ends, I will probably stop the tutorial for tonight or something. So I can just do... Because I'll lower the quality so I can continue to stream. But I don't want to have a lower quality for the tutorial, so... Okay. So you grab that one. Self-explanatory. If you have 0 eggs, make sure you have enough... You get enough to have 3 eggs. And if you're low on Mumbo tokens... it's important that you have 14 Mumbo tokens when you leave this level, or if you did get the Mumbo token that was behind the Christmas tree, then you would want to have 15 Mumbo tokens right now, because you're gonna have to use it on the walrus really soon. So, let's say, for example, right now you're like, okay, I didn't grab the one behind the Christmas tree, because you're not supposed to at this point, but I did, I think. But I only have 13 right now. Where do I get one? Well, you get it right here, like that. So, it's not that big of a waste, I guess, but it's good to recognize it at that point, because else you're gonna have to do some other crazy strats, which would involve trying to grab a Mumbo token in the air. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, I'm starting to drop frames right now, which means it's time to not be doing the tutorial. So I will clip it there, and then I'm actually just going to leave the game on, and I'm not going to play any Banjo. So I think I might... Well, we have a few options. I can either do some SMS right now, or I can cut the stream for like an hour or two until after this thing passes, and then I can either continue doing the tutorial to finish it tonight, or I could do some SMS in 720p too. I mean, whatever you guys want to do. But yeah, I can't stream at this quality right now, so... And I probably actually can't stream at any quality, because it looks like it's... The frame drops aren't bad right now, but I can tell it's going to be bad, because it's starting pretty early. And my frame drops are... Or no, my bitrate is really weird. Like, it's going all the way down to 0 for little bits of time, which tells me... if my frame rate's going down to 0, then that tells me that... Or no, sorry, my bit rate is going down to 0. That tells me that I can't stream at any quality without frame drops, unfortunately. So I might have to go for an hour. So yeah, I think I'm gonna head out for an hour or something, and then hopefully I'll be back, and I'll probably do some SMS. So, but thank you for the follow, Yunyum Journalism, and watch Xiao Official, and I will finish this tutorial probably tomorrow, I would assume, and yeah, we'll go from there. And so hopefully I see you guys in a little while tonight still. So peace out, and thanks for watching.